the same day my dad died is the same day chaos in my family started. I remember there was this day I said, like, tukiwa kwa corridor tuchengia kwa room because hatuwezi ingia sisi wote. I said hi to my grandparents and they didn't say hi back. The subject ya hana nyumba came up. And because he doesn't have a house, he cannot be buried without a house. Lazima mjue mtatoa wapi nyumba. Will we construct a house? Sasa nishajua we are alone in this. And now ni kama declare there's a war. We are not only mourning, we are mourning and we are fighting.
Another day, another episode. My name is Nyambura Mwangi.
And I am Ruth Tengecha.
It's fun.
It's real.
It's honest.
It's the TRC Podcast.
What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for the love and for the support that we felt. 2,000 subscribers, YouTube, Instagram, today almost 5,000. We felt it. We love it so much. And it is because of you guys that we have been able to obtain a new shoot location. Online and on Google Maps, search up J Mana Villas, located directly opposite Thika Greens Golf Resort.
Na hii place ni for bedroom, by the way guys. Na kuna place ya kuchoma nyama. There are so many games. Kuko na dart, kuko na pool, kuna short stays, long stays. It's just you to choose exactly what you want. Everyone, it's Ruth Tengecha here. Welcome to a new series that we are starting right now, which we had promised our audience we're gonna start. The series is called Chaos in the Family. So basically this series is just to talk about everything that has happened in the family, but of course with a light at the end of the tunnel, because we want to make awareness of sometimes things that happen in the family that shape the person that you're going to become in life. And with so many stories, even including my own and including Carol's stories, we've told you the things that have happened to us in our family that have made us the people that you are right now. They have even given us purpose in what we are doing in our life right now. And our first guest for today is a lady who DM'd me actually or emailed me and shared her story with us. So by the way guys, if you want to share your story on chaos in the family, this is the time. Just you could DM me, you could use our website, thechannelcollective.com. You can just Google it and you can go and share your story there. Then we will call you, just put up your number and everything. So I just want our guest for today to introduce ourselves. Oh, nilisahau Karoko hapa. I thought it was my show.
You forgot about me.
Yeah, I did. I forgot you are here.
Naona vile ninatreatiwa
Yeah,
guys.
but she has said in the other episodes there was Brenda, he's her bane of existence, then also Skita. So mimi nakwanga just side person in her life anyway.
So naona tumeanza kufight. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Sawa, nimesaulika.
But subscribe because she's here. Yeah.
Subscribe because my feelings are hurt.
Yeah, and tap the screen. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
I hope you're not nervous.
I don't know, but we will see how it will go.
Oh, okay. So please tell us about yourself, your name, what you do before we get into the story.
Okay. So my name is Esther. I love beauty. I love doing makeup and I love doing nails. And I'm a daughter in a family of 6.
Ooh.
In a family of 6, like father, mother, and 4 children. I'm the second born.
6 kids.
No, in a family of 6, like including the parents,
Okay.
though my dad is late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm the second born, the first daughter, a big brother, and 2 young sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When you middle child.
I wouldn't say I'm a middle child. I feel like I think I'm a first. I feel like I'm a firstborn.
You're the first daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aki first daughters wanakuanga firstborn.
Yeah.
Daughters who mna go through them first.
Yeah.
And
So I
then like
wouldn't call myself a middle child.
being a firstborn daughter and also being a middle child is just the worst
Yeah.
combination
Yeah.
ever. You're the middle one, they forget.
They forget.
And then you're also the first daughter. You
so
know,
when you needed, you remember.
when you're needed, you are remembered.
Actually, they don't forget you because, okay, in my experience, they don't forget me because I feel like I'm the deputy parent.
Oh, when
So
your
the-
mom junior.
Yeah, mom junior, the deputy parent.
I was talking to my friend Brenda the other day. Nikamwambia tu firstborn daughters need their own holiday. Na vile kuna kwa na Mother's Day, Father's Day,
Firstborn day.
daughter day.
Tupewe siku yetu.
Mpewe siku yenyu because
But I
go
also
through the most.
I get what you mean about being the deputy parent because sometimes with my siblings I always feel like I'm their mom. I'm the mother to the older one. I'm the mother. It's like, can you people listen?
Yeah.
Do the right things. Nasikia kama nitachapa.
Hadi ni una plan schedules, ni unawaambia utafanya hivi, utafanya hivi.
Kuna fanya hivyo, unamwambia unasikia like a parent kabisa.
Sometimes you even the parent to your parent.
Yeah.
It has happened to me.
Alafu mdogo anakuambia unanishauteka wewe ni mom. Actually yes.
Yeah. Mimi ni mom.
Yeah.
Who's going to mom here? You know what I mean?
I am the mom.
Usifika ile point yenye mzazi wako they threaten the younger siblings with you. Like nitakusema kwa Carol. Nitakusema kwa Carol.
Ama unaitwa unaambiwa hebu ongelesha huyu. Juu sasa ni kama ni wewe ndio atasikia mzazi sasa. Especially those kids who are raised like unajua kuna wale watoto wa kwanza when the parent is still strong wanapitia wanachapwa and then kuna hao wa mwisho like almost hata ni kama hawaambi wangu anything so you have to be like you have to stand up and be like the parent because usipokuwa mkali already mzazi wako ameshacha kukua mkali hata kuna kama I joke and tell my sister wewe hata hujachapwa kama mimi na brother yangu si ndio tumechapwa kabisa wewe hata hujui kama mama anachapa nanga.
I have younger brothers in Sharks and every time like their dad ama auntie ama shosho atawaambia nitawasema kwa Carol so napigianga simu naambiwa unajua kama ndiye amefanya hivi na hivi and I'm like I'm in Nairobi. What am I supposed to do about it?
Ama you call and ask mbona ulifanya hivyo?
Yeah. So moving on, we would like for you to share your story in the most authentic way possible. Like hata usikue na some thoughts of like their questions. You could just tell us like how you were born and everything and just story tell. Of course, we'll have questions here and there, but this is a safe space, by the way. Safe space.
Okay. So I was born. I don't want to say when I was born, but definitely I was born because people out here want to know people's ages. But I feel like I'm a zillennial. I'm not a millennial. I'm not a Gen Z because I don't quite fit in both. Niko zillennial ni wale wenye they don't fit like miaka zao ni za Gen Z, but they are the hawa wa kwanza wenye walikuwa wamelelewa na millennials. So millennials we don't fit kabisa. Gen Zs wako like we don't fit kabisa. So tuko hapo katikati. I have bit of millennial na bit of Gen Z. So ni zillennial. So ni mwapea mpya. My childhood was normal and when growing up ni vibe inakuanga two vibes because hata nilisikia mtu akisema when growing up you don't really know whether you're rich or poor we tu huko like ulizaliwa ukajipata in a certain place au ndio una vibe now in a certain school au ndio una vibe now so you really don't know until at a later age ndio unakuja kurealize nilienda place fulani nikaona wako na kitu kama hii sijawahi ona now you start asking are we poor are we rich tuko wapi you know so it was just vibes but then again so before we get into the chaos part, I want to tell you a little bit about my life. So growing up, in the early stages of my life, my parents realized I used to be so sick. I was a sickly child. Kila saa niko hospitali, mashindano, admission, nini. And then it took quite some time before I was diagnosed with asthma. But then it was not normal asthma because I have cousins who have asthma. But then I used to wonder mbona yangu inanisumbua sana na yao iwasumbui. Like tutacheza wako na nguvu ya kucheza mi sina nguvu hivyo sana nikicheza sana nagonjeka. Then later on ndio nakuja kujirealize after umeshakuwa mkubwa. I wouldn't say it's asthma, but I felt like at some point it became like chronic because it was too much to a point nikiwa high school my deputy told my mom our school deputy told my mom unajua nini nitakupatia ruhusa na nitakuandikia barua zote just change this child and the worst part is that nilikuwa nasomea Limuru na kuna baridi so akamwambia tu huyu mtu anateseka huko umchange and then mimi nikakuwa kichwa ngumu nikamwambia mimi sitaki kubadilisha shule because I was like nibadilishe shule nianze kuchange subject maybe kwa hii shule nafanya hivi uende shule yenye maybe zenye ni must compulsory nyinyi amfanye so I didn't want all that nikavumilia mpaka nikamaliza but it was a real struggle and through all that my mom and my dad were really supportive. I was a chubby baby so I had weight so nilikuwa katoto kale kazito like you couldn't see it but you could see this child nikachabi but then my parents hata my dad I remember my dad used to kama ni katikati usiku nimepata attack ananibeba hata ajali kama mimi ni mzito aje. I think the last time babangu alinibeba I was 22 years old and I was like really chubby. I'm even in campus. I got an asthma attack. Kwetu kuko sloppy. na tunaishi huko chini ya mlima, alinibeba mpaka juu ya mlima. You can imagine that kind of struggle. Yani that ni mtoto wangu, and they wouldn't want you to pass ama ukufe. So he really struggled with me. Medical bills paid, and through all that, I want to say he was a good dad. He was a provider. We never went to bed hungry. But then most African families, I say Kenyan families, kuna kwanga na a bit of toxicity. And it usually creates trauma in life. But then he was a good dad. Maybe not the best, but he was there through all our lives until when he passed on. He later passed on. Yeah.
I feel like with fathers, obviously kuna mistakes zenye mtu anamaking ya kiparent. Even us, our children will one day say, my mother hapa, hata watakuwa podcast wakisema, mama yangu mnajua mamangu ni Carol, lakini hapa na hapa alifail. But I feel like with fathers sometimes, in those moments, kama in that critical moment, he will show up 100%. Like, acha ni fail hizi vitu zingine, but when my 22-year-old needs to be carried, he won't even think twice about it, you know. Because I feel like I've spoken about my dad a lot. Hata yeye kuna mistakes zenye amemake, but when it mattered, he's there 150%. And it takes a lot of grace to acknowledge the failures, yes, but also acknowledge the good things, you know.
Yeah. Can I say something? Also with my mom, it was like that. I think as a child, I grew up with so much resentment for her because of her condition, and I used to feel like she's such a bad person. But like as I've grown up, and then I realized you're paying all these bills, and it's like, you know, and like you had all this going on with you, I would be sick too, you know. So I think that when I've reached that point of compassion now, even when I share the story of she was sick, I'm not sharing out of a point of like you're the worst person ever, but I'm sharing out of a point of like there's a point where I didn't get her at all, because Bible says that when you're a child you act like a child, you perform like a child. But now when I became an adult, I was like, oh, I get it now.
You start to understand her. Actually, I remember my mom always reminding us, despite those moments when my dad was not who we wanted him to be, my mom used to remind us, baba yenu anawalipia school fees, your dad provides for you. And not to compare ourselves, but kuna watu wenye wako experience hiyo, their dad doesn't provide, anakuja akiwa mlevi, they don't eat. But for us, hata nikitumwa home juu ya school fees ni because alisahau kulipa. Ama ni mimi sikumwambia alipe, na nataka, you know how tukiwa high school unataka kuenda home. So namwambia asilipe, ndio kwanza niende home and then nitarudi baadaye. So it was because of that. But mi nimesoma, my siblings too wamesoma, so, and we never went hungry. Maybe we didn't like have the luxurious food hizo zenye mna like zucchini nini, but we used to eat, and that is a good thing. So he was a dad, and above all, he's human too.
Yeah, for sure.
And so he's bound to make mistakes. And remember that our parents too were raised, and they went through some things that like they impacted their lives, maybe gave them traumas. Na kuna zile vitu zenye in every family you carry something out of that family and you move, unasonga mbele kwa maisha na hiyo kitu. It could be pain, it could be a lesson, and it could be traits that are not good, but they were instilled in you as a kid. And one thing that people don't understand, unlearning some habits is so difficult. Learning, the same way you took a period of your life to learn, it's the same way that you need a lot of time to unlearn. And sometimes we live our lives and we don't unlearn, and we pass the trauma to our kids, and we don't really want, we don't really know.
And then one thing that I've come to realize, that I've come to have so much compassion for the Gen X, is that I can imagine for them, because you see, like most of them, oh my God, I hope they don't cancel me. They struggle with shame. They struggle with, don't tell this person. They struggle with being in friendships that they don't like one another. And it's like, because that's all they've ever known. And you said that thing about unlearning. So they learned it's okay to treat your friend bad. They learned it's okay to have shame about people. So when they see like Gen Zs or millennials were struggling in a shame, so to them they're like, you guys are so peculiar. I was like, you guys, you're so rude, you know. But it's like when you have compassion for them, you realize then they grew up in environments where their parents now, our grandparents, who tell them, mi ndio mzazi, mi ndio nimesema. So they could never have a voice. So they see us having voices, because then when they try to have a voice, you're told you're disrespectful. So then they know when you have a voice, you're disrespectful, or or they saw their mothers or their mothers being beaten up by their fathers, so and their mothers used to just stay. So them they're like, because mommy used to do it, because you see them, our shoshos are their mummies.
Yeah.
You know, like shosho is mommy to her.
Yeah,
So
she
like,
stayed.
yeah, and shosho stayed, and even up to now shosho is 80
Yeah.
and shosho is still there. So how she thinks that it's okay to stay.
Yeah.
So you have compassion for them, and you're like, oh, they don't know any better.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
But sasa penye inakwanga like conflict ni like to them now, you're trying to tell them, hey, this is unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
They're like, you're disrespectful, I don't want to see you anymore.
Now you see, like my parents were raised millennial, and then now there's me as millennial. So wako na mtoto mwenye ni you say I do, say I do, like mwenye maybe right now we can talk and tell my mom, I don't think that is right. But now for my father, he used to believe like whatever I say goes.
Yeah.
I used to joke and say I feel like my dad is a dictator. But then akapatana na mimi. Like I have a little bit of my father and a little bit of my mom, but a little like I'm like my dad. Unajua how mzazi anajizaa and then they can't imagine nimejizaa and then you know something they have in them enye sasa ina reflect inamuonyesha this is me now, hajawahi jiona. Sasa when you talk to them and then they feel like huyu ni mimi, lakini sitaki kuadmit huyu ni mimi, because I used to tell my dad, I used to sit him na namwambia hivi blah 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 blah, I don't like this, I don't like when you do this, I don't like I didn't sikuwa naonanga aja like need ya you say I do. Lazima saa zingine nikwambia I don't like it, because I remember even when I was joining campus, my dad wanted me to do maybe medicine ama nini. I didn't have the like, alikuwa anataka niende KMTC, akaniforce hadi tuka-apply nini, but mimi namwambia I don't feel like it's in me. Sasa yeye anajua lazima uende KMTC ukuwe nurse. Na hadi akaenda aka-apply, and then I tell my dad I don't feel like I want to do that, I want to do something called like events. Ako like events, wazazi wetu hawajaisikia hizo vitu zina exist. So hizo ndio vitu zina exist saa hizi.
Mzazi anasikia ati mnafanya nini? Ati tuko huko tuna shoot nini? Why are you shooting what?
So it was a problem to convince him. So he used to send me to school. Namwambia kuna bado like intake ni next semester, I keep pushing it forward. And then at last akaona mtoto atafanya kitu nataka. So ile course nilimwambia nataka kufanya, he had to research it, ask marafiki wake waulize hii course mnaiona aje, because hajawahi sikia kitu nataka kufanya.
What is it with
so anakusupport but shingo upande ni juu sasa umeshasema sitafanya, alafu you can't force like now Gen Zs, you can't force them to do what they don't want. Like even ndio wako like it's just in them. So finally Ali agree.
I don't know, umesema kitu about asking the marafikis nikakumbuka what is it with dads and marafikis, because even before my dad akubali nifanye psychology we went through leaps and bounds. Hata kama nasemanga mimi ni daddy's girl and all of that, because alikuwa ashindwa psychology ni nini, I've never heard of it. Like unaenda kuifanya kwa nini, ati unasoma watu akili ama unafanya nini, you know. Sasa alienda kuuliza his friends, yeye alikuwa anataka nifanye education, and mimi I was like kama kuna kitu sitaki kukuwa ni mwalimu.
I also feel like kuna hiyo aspect ya personal, acha niongelea babangu. I feel like they feel good when they tell people, you know what, my daughter is a doctor, my daughter is like hizi courses zenye zinajulikana. Sasa unaenda kumwambia tu unaenda kufanya events, utakuwa unafanya nini? I'll be managing caterers nini ako like hiyo sasa ni nini, but anataka ile like anasema you know my daughter is a nurse in Kenyatta, like hivyo ndio anataka, ama my daughter is a nurse in UK, hivyo sasa hizo ndio courses zenye walikuwa wana appreciate. So kuna hiyo aspect ya kind of show off. That's why unapata anaenda kuuliza watu hii course imechagua ni mzuri, ndio asikie opinion ya watu. Wakisema ni mbaya akuja kuambia no you can't do that course, because hata watu hawaijui.
Esther, you told us that your dad passed. I'm so sorry about that. My condolences. So maybe we would like to get into that, or what caused him to pass away, then maybe life after that.
So before I talk about my dad passing, I'd like to talk about grief, because I've experienced, like the first time I ever experienced grief was not because of my dad dying. It was in February 2023. A best friend of mine passed, and that was the first time I ever felt like someone so close to me die. That was the first time I ever, like unajua kuna kuanga na auntie wenye you just related to them by just being family, so mnaenda mazishi, but then this one hit me so hard because we were really really close. And a day like today, it was on 13 February, we had talked, nikamwambia vile nitaenda kumuona kesho, we'll see. And then the morning of 14th February, I'm called, you know what, umesikia? And then nimesikia nini? And then I'm told that this friend of mine had passed, and that was the first time grief ever got to me, because I had never lost someone so close. Unajua kuna relationships za kujipata, and then kuna zile relationships zenye you've built brick by brick. So this one I had built it myself, and that was the first time I ever experienced grief. And we later on traveled, tukaenda tukamzika, and I came back to Nairobi, and the first day I came back to Nairobi on a Monday, my mom told me to take a shower, freshen up, and then after I'm done, we will talk. And then she came to my bedroom and told me, there's something I'm going to tell you, but I'm not supposed to tell you. So it was ni kama kunibia siri, and then he tells me, you know what, your father is sick. Alienda na akafanyiwa test. Akapatikana ako mgonjwa.
This is after you've left the burial.
Now I've left the burial of my friend. I'm still broken. There's a lot that happened during that burial. There were struggles. So nimefika Nairobi nimechoka, because through the journey tulikuwa tuna communicate na my mom na my dad. And actually my dad is the one who gave me transport, because I was still back in school. Alinipea transport akaniambia, because alikuwa ana understand. You know, when you're close to me, I love how you say that as Ruth watu wanajua Carol, as Carol watu kwenu wanajua hivyo. So for me with my friends, if I mention a new name today, my sister will even tell me sijaisikia ukitaja huyo mtu, because kuna wale wenye nimetaja. So for this person, like tulikuwa tunashindana, like I just keep saying, like tuseme niko friends na Ruth, I keep saying Ruth amefanya, Ruth nini tumeenda pale na Ruth. So they knew this person, so it was very easy for my dad to support me. He supported me tukaenda, and then now we came back. I freshen up, and my mom comes, tells me, before you traveled, during this morning season, your dad was sick, na akaenda hosi. I don't know how the test is called, but it was, okay, let me forward. Ni forward kwanza, and then nirudi nyuma. So, and then my mom tells me, your dad is sick, na akona cancer. And then akaniambia, before you travel and all this happened, aliendanga this, I don't know how it's called, the test. They cut a piece of your flesh ama nini, wanaitest ndio wanajua iko na shida gani, iko hivyo. So my dad had been sick, but ni ile ndio tunasema daddy hata agonjeka, hata kigonjeka si kitu serious, unaona. And it was a shock, because you hearing your dad has cancer, and then my mom drops the bombshell. Like I feel like my mom thinks I'm the strongest person. Akaniambia, and then akaniambia, I don't remember if it's that same day ama ni later. I think ni later, but within just that period, my dad tells my mom. So si mimi anaambia, because my dad is protecting fathers ama parents, they like to protect their kids. So ana discuss na my mom, and then my mom feels like because niko mkubwa anaweza share na mimi, but ataambia wengine. So through that season ni mimi tu alikuwa anaambia, but kumbuka aliambiwa asiambie mtoto yoyote, but anakuja ananiambia ni the doctor amemwambia ako na cancer na ako na 5 years to live. You can imagine that shock. I'm like 5 years, but my mom was like, doctors wanasemanga, but Mungu anafanyanga. Ni watu wangapi wanaambiwanga hata wako na like 1 year to live na wanaishi. So we were very hopeful. Hata tulikuwa tunamwambia, you know what, you won't die. Okay, we used to say he won't die. Mamangu anamu-encourage, anamwambia watu wengi wanaendanga chemo nini na wana survive. And so for me, I felt like that's such a big deal, because we all know like cancer is not a small thing, but siku expect whatever will happen so soon, because the doctor alikuwa amesema this condition, the best we can do, we can only keep you for like 5 years, and then things escalate. And my dad went through his chemos. He was okay. He's going to work. He's very strong. Hata amwezi notice. We have not told anyone. We have not told any family. My mom told my dad asiambie mama yake, now my shosho, mama ya babangu, because you know parents are old. You don't need to tell them. You can, but now because siati we tuko sure it happened, just don't tell them. So it's not good to tell them. So mamangu, babangu na mimi ndio tunajua. Hata sister zangu sijawaambia, because I'm also shielding them. And so fast forward, my dad dies the same year. So
same year you were told?
Yeah, from 5 years to now months.
Oh, wow.
He discovers in February, he dies in June. And I'm like, wait, you said 5 years. It's not even up to 1 year. Hizo miaka zimeendaje? You've not even given us time to like seek medical attention. Ndio tu tumeanza chemo. We are hoping things are going good. Actually, things are actually going good. He was very strong. My dad only got sick for, my dad got sick for 1 week. At most 2.
Leading up to the
now him dying, because all throughout he was very strong. Maybe if he wasn't, he was hiding it, but mimi nilimwona akiwa very strong. He used to go to work, because even his workmates were like, we never saw this person as sick. He was very strong. Hadi siku ya kwenda chemo anajipeleka na anajirudisha. He never really wanted us to like, already unaona hajui mimi ninajua. So you can't tell him daddy tukupeleke, hajui. Like he used to go alone. Later on after amesha pass ndio niliona videos zake akiwa hosi. Like, cause ukienda chemo unaendanga, unakaa place maybe ama unekwa kwa bed. So he used to take like, he used to document himself when he was in hospital. That is when I saw it. Like nilikuwa najuanga leo ameenda blood work, leo amefanya hivi, because you have to take like blood work, wacheck nini. I used to know that, but I never, like hatukuwa impeleka because he never wanted us to. Not because we couldn't, but he wanted, like he was so strong, like hakukuwa, not that he didn't need our help, he just didn't want to bother us. And he was very strong throughout, so we didn't know what happened. And so he passed on.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Nimeweza kusikia emotional, especially the part we talked about cancer.
And you know what usually hit you? Like, we see things happening daily on the news, and then you never really think that it can happen to you. I was like, I was actually in denial. How can he have cancer? Mi sijaisikia mtu kwa familia na cancer. You know, kuna vitu zingine uko like, unajua ukisikianga mtu ako na diabetes, you want to know. Kuna mtu kwa familia ako nayo. You know, so I was like, his parents are still here. And they are very healthy. Mbona akwe ni yeye? Kila mtu ako very healthy. Mi sijaisikia such a thing in the family. Imetoka wapi? You know, it was like somehow unataka kuunderstand ilitoka wapi, because I don't want to say denial, but you want to ask, mbona ni yeye wa kwanza? Sometimes you even ask yourself, why us? Mbona ni sisi wa kwanza? You know, and it wasn't easy, because after he passed on, life really changed. Because when your parent dies, you have to, hata kama kuko umegrow, you will automatically need to grow up. Because the person who was shielding you is not there. So you have to be the shield. Thankfully, I still have my mom here, and I love her so much. And when I felt like I wanted to give up, I didn't give up, because my mom was there. And so my dad has just died. My dad amekufa leo, and everything just crumbles, because the same day my dad died is the same day chaos in my family started. He hasn't even been transferred, like hajatoka huko. Like when your family member dies, they don't take him to the morgue immediately. You have to come see him, muone kabisa ni kweli amekufa. Because I didn't think my dad alikufa morning hours, na by the time alipelekwa kwa morgue, it was, I think, around afternoon. So you have to see him, muite family members wenyewe wa verify, mkae hapo muabsorb, muone kabisa it has happened. Mjaribu kumuamsha, mlie, mfanye everything. And so after that we go. Sasa si lazima, okay, amekufa, lazima now we start planning what next. Bills have to be paid. Msifikiria tiju amekufa kupona mtalipa bills. Lazima mlipe bills. So you have to do everything. And so who is there? My mom na mimi ndio tunafaa kufanya hizo vitu. And my mom amekufiwa na husband, na mimi nimekufiwa na baba. But one of us has to be strong. And I usually say I'm really strong. And my mom is also really strong. But hiyo kitu ilimhit. Because I remember hata tukitoka hosi tunaenda home kumuona. Actually, I remember my dad died on a Wednesday, and the Sunday tulikuwa hosi kumuona, and that is the first time I saw a different version of my dad I had never seen. Nilikuwa, okay, Saturday brother na mama yangu ndio walipelekanga baba yangu hosi. So Sunday tukaenda na mama yangu na sister yangu kumuona. And what I saw, I was like, the version of my dad I saw was not the version that left home on Saturday. It was very different. He was convulsing. And I'm like, I see these things in movies. I have never seen a person converse in real life. Deep down, I feel like, will he survive? But then at the same time, I'm encouraging my mom, daddy haezi. Kwanza I used to tell my mom, daddy haezi kufa. Mbona akue ni hata kufa, si wazazi wake wako? And then we have normalized that parents bury children. We've not normalized that children parents. Unaona? So I'm like, my grandparents are still there. Daddy haezi kufa, atapona. Atapona. And then after that, like he used to be like ako mgonjwa, anaconvulse, and then the next minute anawachekesha. Anawambia vitu fani, mnaanza kucheka. And then the next minute anaanza kusema like vitu za ni kama parting shot. I remember him telling ilikuwa unaona vile hospitali zinakuanga na rules za a certain time mnafaa mtoke kwa ward. I remember him telling the security guard, please allow my children to take the last picture with me. And I'm like, what are you saying? Why are you saying the last picture? And as much as nasema hivyo na nataka kumu-encourage nimwambie this is not the last picture, I can see, I can literally see this person is not in a good situation. So mi nikatoka nje nikaanza kulia, but then we give ourselves strength. And the bill had accumulated so much, but then to come transfer hospitals because of the bill and take him to another hospital where we could maybe afford, because already one night na ime-accumulate sana, tukajiuliza akika hapa for like long, what will we do? So to come change. Later on we came to wonder if we had made the right decision. After my dad passed, we were like, hata heri tu bill ingekuwa 1 million but I survive. But then tunaji-encourage, tunajiambia we thought what we were doing was the best thing. Hatukuwa tunajua like, unajua unajiulizanga maswali uko like, ama tulimpeleka hospitali chipa, maybe hawakumshughulikia, vitu kama hizo. So we transfer him to hospital. Tukafika hiyo hospitali na tukakaa hapo, tukampea chakula, tukaongea. But then he used to, like, a sick person can have anger issues because they are going through so much pain and maybe you're not understanding them. Because I remember even that day tukiwa hapo, hata tumeshamtoa hiyo hospitali tukampeleka hospitali ingine, it's almost time for us to go home. And then I remember us having like a confrontation with him. Sijui nilimwambia nini. I think I was trying to tell him eka mkono vizuri ndio hii drip isifanye nini. And then he was like, unajua uni understand, you don't understand the kind of pain I'm going through. So he was like, I don't know how to put it. We had like a confrontation because I'm trying to care for you, but you feel like the care I'm giving you don't want it. So I don't understand. At this point, I'm not understanding. He's also going through much pain. So, but after that, things just escalated. Like, he went downhill, hakuwai recover. Vile alikuwa Saturday, vile alikuwa Sunday, vile alikuwa Monday, it was just going down. Alikuwa anaenda 80%, 70%, anashuka tu. Remember on Monday, watu wa job walikuja kumuona, and I couldn't bear to watch my dad. I was just hiding behind the curtains and I'm really, really crying. At the same time, najiambia hapana ata make it. But at the same time, nikimuona, I'm like, this person won't make it. So niko hapo between like, nikue hopeful ama niangalie reality. And then there was a surgeon who was supposed to come and operate. And then like the doctors usually know what is not going to happen, what is going to happen. And then so wanashinda wakiwa stall. Unashinda ukienda kuuliza, kwani daktari akuji atakuja kesho? But they don't want to operate on this person because they already know this person is going. So wanasema operation ni Monday inafika, daktari hajakuja. Wanasema operation ni Tuesday. So I feel like they didn't want to operate on him and they knew what was going to happen. They were just buying time. But hawakutuambia. And so he passed on. And that period when he was in hospital, his parents came to see him because they heard he was in a really bad state. I actually told people to come and see him because he was in a really bad state, and they came. And this is the time that families are supposed to be united, right? Because all of you love this person. This is your child. This is my father. This is your husband. This is your brother. So tunafaa tukue united. Like, pray for him, care for him. But instead of that, I felt like there was a wall. Kila mtu side yao. Because even vile mnaendanga like visiting time imeisha, mnangojea the next visiting time, vile mnaenda mkae like kwa waiting room pamoja, there used to be different groups. Even if our ni nuclear family, tukae pamoja, wazazi wake wakae uko, siblings wake like kulikuwa na koka dispute like atuyuko pamoja kabisa.
Both his parents were alive?
Yeah. They are still alive. And so that was when I was like, I remember there was this day I said, like, tukiwa kwa corridor tuchengia kwa room because hatuwezi ingia sisi wote, I said hi to my grandparents. and they didn't say hi back. And I was like, unaona ile vile unapeanga, you keep excusing people. It's because they are going through so much pain. But I'm also going through so much pain. But I was like excusing them because sisi tumekuwa na yeye, so we can see him. But hawa wajamuona for a long time, so maybe it is shocking to them. So I excused them. Like, I didn't realize kulikuwa na kabif. Mi sikuwa nimeiona. Because how do you say hi to your grandparents hamjaonana for a long time and they don't care? And so for me, I didn't, like, at that point I had not noticed like kuna issue. Mi nilidhani ni vile maybe wako na stress, mtoto wao ni mgonjwa. At this point I think my dad was in a really bad situation, so nilikuwa like maybe wanaona ni kama you know, you try to understand them, you know. And then to a point that my auntie brought his own food apatie babangu, in like unafeel ni kama hataki ushike hiyo chakula. Maybe if you touch it, you might place something in and maybe kill your dad. It was that bad. And so ukikaa na mtu unaonanga, this person, does he eat? Does he do this? Akona nguvu ya kukula. So we had noticed he wasn't eating. Hata zile za hospitali anashindwa kukula. Nyumbani my mom used to feed him. Like it wasn't that bad, but kuna zile time yenye ilikuwa bad sana, my mom used to feed him. So tunajua feeding habits zake. But hawa wakituona bila kukuja, kama tumekuja hospitali bila kitu, they feel like we are not taking care of him. So ile yao nye wamekuja nao wanaishinda wameishikilia hapa. Maybe we will, like there's a certain message that they were trying to pass. And so like saa hapo ndo tukaanza kunotice ni kama vitu haziyuko poa. But sisi time ya kwenda home ikifika, tunaenda home, we pray for him, we encourage ourselves, tunajiambia lazima atapona. Plus he has been okay through all this time, atapona. There's no time you usually tell yourself that this person is going to die. Hata kama iko tu hapa, you don't really see it. And so he didn't stay for long. He passed on, and the day he passed is the day like everything changed. I've said these once before. When your person ama whoever dies, there is kumchukua mumweke kwa morgue, and the person who will place him there ni ataenda kumtoa, because there is that kapipa huwa mnapatiwa ya approval yenye kusema mmeweka huyu mtu na ni huyu mtu amemweka. You can give your ID ndio ijulikane ni huyu mtu alimweka. The same way kama ni mimi nimemweka, si ni mimi nitakuja kumtoa. And my parents are of different is it called ethnicities? Ama inaitwa tribes too. So my mom is Kikuyu, my dad is Kisii. And so watu wakina babangu wakaanza kusema kwa mila zetu mama ama msichana hafai kuweka mwili. And this is something I had never heard of. So it has to be like watu wakina babangu ndio wateka mwili. Already that shows you these people, there's something they're planning against you. And I thank God for my father's best friend. The man stood by us. He's Kisii, so he understands zile vitu zenye sisi hatuwezi jua. Akakuja akatuambia mimi ni Mkisii na sijaisikia kitu kama hiyo. Like unajua kama vile maybe I was like sijaisikia kitu kama hiyo, so nikaenda kumuuliza so nikampa example na kama Kikuyu, kuna Wakikuyu wa Murang'a, kuna nini na nini. And some people do different things, so nilikuwa nataka kuelewa ni Wakisii wa aina gani hawa wenye we are not allowed to like tuweke babangu mochari na we are the closest. Sisi ndio tulimleta hosi na sisi ndio tumesema like you can't discharge him without us, lazima tukue hapo. Mbona saa ya kuweka mwili we are not allowed to be there? But he told us you have to do it because Miss Jaiskia kitu kama hiyo, this is a plan that is being hatched. So struggles. You see, my dad has just died. I'm supposed to be in mourning, you know. I'm supposed to like take everything in, start grieving, but I'm not allowed to do that because I have to be strong. If I start crying and forget about my family, nitalia mpaka nilie kabisa sasa. So I had to be strong. It's not like I put grief down. It was still within me, but I wasn't concentrating now on the grief. I usually joke and tell people like, yo siku I literally had to like tie a jacket around my waist and be like, no, sasa lazima to fight. You know, like ile yenye unakunja shati kuja saa tupigane. So for me, nikatoa jacket nikaifunga kwa kiuno nikasema mnataka fight, let's go, let's do it. And so they were expecting to see someone who is weak, who is vulnerable. My dad had just died. Ni babangu ninampenda. But I had to put all that down. Ama ni bury somewhere. I will come to take it baadaye. For now I have to be strong. Because if I'm not strong, we will be kicked. We've had stories about people who, like, after their partners ama their fathers had died, they were kicked out of wherever they were supposed to live. So for me, I knew that was what was going to happen to us. I had to take the initiative. So nikaenda nikalipa bill. My uncle lako hapo ananifuata kabisa, ni mimi nitalipa bill. But I'm the one with the documents. Mimi niko na kila kitu. Tukienda kupewa karatasi anataka kweni anachukua nasoma. Even some things zenye okay ni sawa, we can be sisters all of us, but once I'm married, there are some things my partner and my kids are supposed to be aware of more than wenye tumezaliwa now. Because the moment tulizaliwa na nyinyi tukareziwa na nyinyi, but now I have a family and they come first. Whether you like it or you don't like it. So in this instance, we came first. Before the brothers and the sisters, we were the first ones. We took him to hospital. So it's only right that we do the discharge. But ako hapo anangangana. And the cousins are supporting him. Mbona mnakubali msichana wa rule? And then...
Well, I'm so sorry about all of this, baby. At this point, where is your older brother?
My older brother... Okay. Sometimes family dynamics, I don't want to say much, but family dynamics, yeah. So he wasn't around. He will later come into the picture, but at that particular day, he wasn't around. Remember, before, when my dad died, we were not like there. My uncle was there with him. So he called us and told us, you know what, baba yenu ana change sana. Juni nyinyi mnaweza mtoa hosi, kujeni mumbadilishe hosi, tumpeleke hospitali ingine, because we feel like it's not working here. So si tumetoka na haraka na mom tukijua, ni sisi tunaenda kumchange hospitali, only to get there and we now discover it was like he is dead. But they couldn't tell us over the phone. So unaona tumetoka tu mimi na mamangu, hata sister zangu tujawaambia, sisi tunajua tumeenda kumtoa hii hosi tumpeleke hii ingine. So when we get there, like tunapata amekufa. So not everyone can come immediately, but sisi wenye tuko hapo na wenye watakuja later on watatusaidia. So at first ni mamangu na mimi tu tulikuwa hapo. Hata cousins, parents, relatives walikuja baadaye. So at this point my brother wasn't there, but my brother was at home handling other things. Because remember, when a person dies, it's not all about the morgue. After that mtaenda home kumona hawa watu. So he was at home organizing. So he wasn't there with us. And that was the point. Sasa nishajua we are alone in this. And now ni kama declare there's a war. We are not only mourning, we are mourning and we are fighting. So ni lazima ubalance hizi vitu. And so for me, I felt like during this season, I was not given a chance to mourn my dad. As late as last week, I dreamt with my dad. And in this dream, my dad was alive. Like I still, and then nikiamka ndio ninajiuliza, wait a minute, this month he is dead. But in my dream, he was alive. So kuna zile moments, I still dream with my dad a lot. And sometimes namwonanga amekufa. Then sometimes naona kabisa ama ninaona tunaishi na yeye kabisa. So kuna hizo points zanya. Sometimes my mind inajua this man is dead. But then sometimes it feels like he's still not dead, you know?
I see something. I really understand you, because like for me, I also dream of my mom. And sometimes in the dreams, I was telling Carol, I always dream I'm telling my mom, Mommy, this and this happened. And after you died, this and this happened. And this and this happened. And then in other dreams, I'm dreaming and I'm telling her, so this and this good happened. You know, so it's like you want to report to them. Like, these are the bad. I'm sorry, but I'm crying throughout the story. If you see my heart, it's crying because I can really... I feel you completely, so I get
so sometimes I remember even after tumesha mzika, I used to feel like nasikia geti kifunguliwa, nasikia wewe ni babangu amekuja. Like it doesn't just sink on you that this person is dead kabisa saa hizo. Yes, unajua amekufa, unaambiwa hata uende kwa morgue as many times as you want, ndio at least hiyo kitu sink in. But for me, I didn't have that chance. I had to be strong, because if I'm not strong, things will change. Haya. So different people have different cultures. Remember, I've told you I'm from Kisii, and my dad had not gotten the chance to build himself a house. And for people like Kisiis, Luyas, Luos, they usually get the body today. anaingishwa kwa nyumba yake ndio atazikwa kesho. So we had not done that. So hizi vitu zote they are still here kwa mabega yangu because I still have to help my mom. And I have not told you something. When my dad died, my mom kind of went into shock. Alipoteza hadi handbag, akapoteza hadi zile vitu important. We came tunakuja tunaulizana handbag ya mama iko wapi, hata yeye hajui iko wapi. Because at that point umeenda kutoa bwana hospitali umpeleke ingine, then unafika unaambiwa amekufa, won't you go into shock? So she was shocked, she lost her things. So during this season my mom was like, I think she was the most vulnerable person. Hata mimi sikuwa nina imagine itakuwa hivyo. Like at this point I felt like mimi na wewe tunaweza kuwa kwanza kitu nataka kusema ni eti mimi na wewe tunaweza kuwa sisi ni sisters and we lose the same parent but it won't hit us the same way. So in this like situation I have lost a dad, he has lost a husband, two dynamics. Ni baba yangu ni bwana yake. So relationship zetu not exactly the same. We are a family but ni different dynamics. So for her I feel like it hit her so much. Like I don't know, like it hit her so much. Not that it didn't hit me, but I felt like so mama ko weak. Mi nikuwe weak. Wengine pia wadogo wakuwe weak. Nani atatupigania? Na unajua kuna watu wanakujanga mazishi for vibes.
True.
Like wanakuja tu hapo just because enye like visually like unajua watu wanaamini mtu kitu mbaya kifanyika kwa community lazima tuende to stand up na wao. But after that they will be gone. After that ni nyinyi mtabaki hapo peke yenu. So nikisema nikuwe weak saizi and then next nitakuja kulala kwenu. Sisi tukishamzika kila mtu ataenda kwao and then sisi we will lose our home. So I have to be strong as much as I'm mourning. I thank God because we had relatives who were really supportive. Because they hold us down, like they were there with us kabisa.
This is your mom's side?
Yeah, my mom's side. Because already this other side ni kubaya. Unasikia rumors that we didn't take care of him, hatukuwa tunampea chakula, and I'm wondering, what are you guys saying? Do you even know my dad? My dad is a provider. So ana provide unamnyima chakula yenye amenunua, how would you do that? So I used to wonder, so hizi vitu zinatoka wapi? Like unashanganga mpaka ule mwenye ni favorite ati unasemanga like unajua watu wanasemanga dad side ni nyoka. So but kuna wale like not everyone is bad but then kuna wale unajiambianga auntie fulani ni mzuri. That day that auntie was not good. She wasn't even talking to us na tunajiambianga she's our auntie, she gives us treats, you know. But that day everything changed. Sometimes unataka kuelewa that pia wame lose a brother. But come on, pia mimi nime lose baba.
I think emotional intelligence is very important and I think that's a trait everybody needs to have. Whether you've done psychology, whether you've done therapy, sometimes emotional intelligence, use your brain. Use your brain, please. Because like these are children, they have lost their father and this is someone who has lost her husband. Regardless of your feelings or your insecurities towards them of hawakuwa wanampea chakula, that's your own perception. You have lost your brother, that is her dad. That is your brother, that is a main source of providence. You know, that is her husband. You used to live with him till he was 30. She has lived with him the other 30.
So mnafaa muelewe, you know. But then we were not given that chance. Lazima tukue strong.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So we've gone back home, si tunatayarisha mazishi and then okay, my mom's family is not really involved juu mtoto si wao. Mwenye ku involved sana si ni watoto ni side ya baba yangu juu mtoto ni wao. So they come as much as niko hapo lazima ni respect the elder. So si tunaanza kupanga like the same day watu wanaanza kuulizana today ni siku fulani. It was on a Wednesday. Leo ni Wednesday. Tutamzika lini? Unajua lazima muanze kupanga hizo vitu. So that's when the communication, the subject ya hana nyumba came up. And because he doesn't have a house, he cannot be buried without a house. Lazima mjue mtatoa wapi nyumba. Will we construct a house? And what kind of standard of the house? Like unaona? So tukaanza kufikiria hizo stories zote. Mimi hata sikuwa nimezifikiria, you know.
How old were you?
I was in my early 20s. Yeah, it was ndio tu hata sikuwa nimemaliza sikuwa nimefanya. I was like nilikuwa nimebakisha sijui semester moja ama ni mbili nimalize saa kampo. So hadi sikuwa naamini like nilikuwa najonga babangu atakuwa hapo atakuja graduation yangu. Si unaona hizo vitu bado sijasinki bado sikuwa ninaamini. So tuko hapo, they tell us, you know what, we can't bury him. Like mimi nilikuwa na expect like within a week, maybe like next Friday atakuwa ameshazikwa. and then they tell us like it can't happen, lazima kwa nyumba ijengwe. So me I'm shocked, hizo pesa zinatoka wapi? Bado tu ni sisi mna expect tutoe hizo pesa. And guess what, ni sisi. Ni sisi, lazima tujue kwenye hizo pesa zitatoka. Na it's hard to tell, like unaona, like my mom is Kikuyu. Sasa mama yangu hata wajazo hizo vitu, mtu anachukuliwa anaenda na ziko kwenye kunapatikana, hakuna story ya sijui ati place kuna. So utaanzaje kuambia watu wawachangie pesa ya nyumba ama nini? So ni sisi tujue kwenye hiyo pesa itatoka. And then sometimes you feel like, oh daddy, mbona sasa hukujenga nyumba? Because sasa now at some point I used to feel like, dad umekufa. Ukajua zile vitu, I was mad at him. I was actually mad at him because I felt like ulikufa before weke everything. Mbona ulikufa sasa? Mbona ukuweka things in order? Mbona unataka mimi ndio nifanye hizi vitu? Like I felt like I was mad at him.
And that's okay.
Everything. Kwanza nikienda, like when things are going on, niende ni hit a rock, I start now wondering, sasa mbona alikufa? Hii ni kazi yake. This should be him. Why is it me? Everything happens and then you feel like hii ni kazi yake, si kazi yangu. I'm only a child. Me hata hizi ni vitu alikuwa anafaa kuwa ameni protect from. Like singefaa ku experience. Me the only thing nilikuwa nafaa kufanya ni kumon, but sasa mmenipatia kazi zenye si zangu. You know, I feel like
that thing about I'm only a child, I get you.
So they were kulikuwa na like, and then my mom is this soft person. Kila kitu anaambiwa anasema ni sawa tu. Esther, usibishane, tutajenga nyumba. And then my uncle, brother babangu, akakama up na idea, akatuambia because mimi nimejenga nyumba, nitawapatia nyumba yangu, ataingizwa hapo, atazikwa. And then we were like, anatusavia. So we were like, that's nice, anatusavia because sasa tutahave kujenga nyumba. And then someone akakuja akatuibia siri, akatuambia, do you know what, that will be the biggest mistake mtafanya, because the moment ameingizwa kwa hiyo nyumba imekuwa yake, imekuwa yenu. He has no rights to that house because your father has been atazikwa akiwa ametolewa kwa hiyo nyumba. So you will have to build this person mwenye amewapea hiyo nyumba a house. You get? So wewe unipee nyumba, niitumie, nikifikiria ati nikishaitumia nitakurudishia juu it's just a one day event ama hivyo. Kumbe if I use that house, it now belongs to my family and I will have to build you another house. And that is the part he had not told us. He just told us, you know what, I'll give you a house. And we are like, anatupenda, anatusaidia. Kumbe there is something hidden. If he gives you this house, you will have to build him another house. And so tukakaa chini tukaambiana na mamangu, atupe nyumba ya hii standard. Si tumjengee hii standard. Is it right? Let's build our father a house. No matter how long it will take. Ushaona nyumba ya mawe imebuildiwa na 3 weeks. That's how fast we had to do it. So I don't remember like the exact date, but hakuzikwa within a week vile tunge expect. And then now uzuri, like in Kisii, it's not like bricks. They use matofali. They call them matofali, the brown bricks. So that's what we used to build. And remember, we have guests at our place. Kuna pesa zinatumika kwetu, kuna food, kuna nini. And then at his homestead bado kuna watu wanakuja kumon, kuna hizo vitu zinajengwa. So it was like, it is draining you mentally, it is draining you financially. Kila siku tunaitwa meeting na mamangu, tunaambiwa kuna pesa fulani zinatakana. It's like as if we had put pahali insurance ya kifo. Like you just want us to tuende kwa tuwatole. Tujali pia sisi, we had no. And then this man was sick. And then he was eating special food. We are drained financially na bado mnatuitisha. But God provided. Mimi naweza tu sema God provided, because at the end of the day tulijenga, hata kama tulijenga na deni, some of the denis tulimaliza after tushazika dad, but we still had to do it. And I thank God because of the person who told us. We don't really use that house, but at least we can say nyumba ni yetu. Rather than tungepewa nyumba and then tukuje like things happen vile tuko tuna expect. Thank God for that person. So after burial, we had to sit home. Nasa mimi like nimezoea like watu uka home wanasema we used this amount of money, hizi zilifanyika. So for us it was like tumeka tunaambiwa kuna hii deni, nani anafaa kufuta? Mimi na mama yangu. Like unajua kuna vile mimi naonanga watu wengine wakisema kuna hii pesa imebaki kwa committee. This is what we are supposed to use. But then tunaambiwa kwa hardware kuna hii deni. Sijui kwa nini tulileta hii, sijui tulinunua mahindi, sijui tulifanya nini. And then we are supposed to do it. And then on top of that now we are told, babako alikuwa na shamba hapa na hapa, alisema ni yangu.
Alisema ni yangu?
They start to tell us that alikuwa na shamba hapa alisema hiyo ni yangu. Alikuwa na shamba hapa, ni mimi nilimpatia pesa akanunua. And then we are like, we know those properties are my dad. Like ni za my dad na alituachia sisi. Now people are starting to claim that hizi ni vitu zao. Like where we live right now, there was a building that was going on. Unasikia mtu anaanza kusema ati alisema floor fulani ni yake. And you're like, hizi vitu aliwaambia akiwa wapi? Aliwaambia akiwa wapi? Because sisi hakutuambia. My mom na yeye ndio wamestruggle. Sisi ndio tunajuanga, hata sasa hizo ni mimi nawaambia. Unajua hata kuna loan tunalipa tujamaliza kulipa, ni sisi tunabaki tukilipa hiyo loan. And then you're telling us that hii property sasa itakuwa yenyu. Wakaanza kusema tu like, and then I was like, I told my mom, tukikaa hapa tutakufa na stress. Imagine ndio mmemaliza tu kuzika mtu, mnataka kuenda. It was the morning of us now coming back to Nairobi. Tumekalishwa meeting. I told my mom, if we, like hii ni safari tunaenda and it's a long journey. Tukianza kutupiana maneno hapa, we don't know what will happen on the road. So let's just pretend we are stupid and go home. Because wakisha kuambia ati shamba ya fulani ni yangu, uanze kuambia pana ni yangu, ni ya watoto wangu. Like, you can, may the best man win. The best thing you can do, just fight legally. Usifight na mdomo, because ukifight na mdomo utakuwa exhausted. But already nilikuwa exhausted, but I'm just trying to be strong. Because I'm asking myself, what kind of a man will work hard and give everything to the siblings?
Exactly.
And he has a family.
That's not...
Who would even do that? And when such things happen is when you realize, you see that uncle or that auntie, you think that they love you so much. It's for vibes. Ni vibes for real. Because the moment that your parent, your mom or your dad, like it even gave me a trauma. To a point I was like, awa wasaidia kina mama yangu hawatatubadilika in case mom, because you start wondering okay, they were not always good, because tribal differences wako like mbona umeoa Mkikuyu, they were not always good, but at least it was not that bad. Like hatukuwa ifikiri inaweza kuwa okay, like we could think of it, but we had not experienced it, we had not anticipated. So we are like to a point by then nilikuanga na shanganga, sasa tuseme mamangu akufe na hawa wataturuka hawa wa hii side ingine, because I've experienced it. I've seen that dad amekufa au ameanza kutugeuka, and then to a point they felt like things are not going the way wanataka. Now they started coming back as friends. But remember, ushanionyesha your true colors. Nyoka ishaniuma, nikiona kamba ama nikiona ngozi ninaogopa. So I don't really trust you. We can say hi to each other, but deep down ninajua vile ulinifanyia, so siwezi kutrust completely. And the fact that unakuja kulearn hii strategy haikuwork, so unakuja kutafuta njia nyingine ama a loophole that you can use.
I think ndio maana saa zingine wazazi wanakuanga so like skeptical. I saw a story on, I think, Judy Nyawera's channel of a girl alikuwa anasema her mom passed away, and before she passed away alikuwa anashinda akiwaambia like, nikikufa my siblings watawatesa. Like of course kiwa mtoto unaona Auntie Njeri, Auntie Shiro, we are friends nini, but every time they would watch Nigerian movies with the mom, zile movies za mzazi amekufa then mtoto anateswa, mama yao alikuwa anawaambia, and that time hata she wasn't sick, alikuwa anawaambia
nyinyi ndio
mtakuwa hawa watoto, if I was to pass away mtakuwa hawa watoto wa kuteswa na my own sisters. And when she got sick and passed away, that's exactly what happened. So I think ndio maana sometimes wazazi unaweza ona my dad hapendi brother yake ama my mom hapendi sister yake. I think they know something.
So at some point I used to think my dad is toxic, because they used to fight with one of his brothers so much. They were not even talking. They started talking on his deathbed. Iyo Sunday yenye nilienda kuona babangu, that is the Sunday they forgave each other and started talking, and they were not talking for more than 10 years. And I used to think, sasa babangu amekosana na brother yake. Sasa mimi nikipatana na brother yake nisitamsalimia, mimi nitamsalimia juu ni beef yao. So I don't understand, sikuwa ninaelewa mbona hivyo. So forgive him. Mimi nataka family ikuwe pamoja. So mimi nitapatana na yeye, atanipeleka out, anibaie. Kama amenipata atanipea, shika hii, ataniambia sina pesa mob, shika hii. Mimi si ni yangu yangu amenipea. So I never used to understand. But yeye alikuwa ana understand the kind of people like anawajua. He might not really show them, but for him, my dad was like, if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you. And so on his deathbed ndio walianza kuongea, and he told them, msinitese familia. And I used to wonder, kwani like the wishes of a dying person, won't you like listen to them? Amesha kuambia like amekwambia don't make my family suffer. But you still go ahead and make the family that he told you not to make it suffer to suffer. Right now I don't even know if I would want to talk to them, because it reached to a point I used to see their calls and I'm like sichukui. And then my mom, I usually tell my mom, unajua mama unaweza samehe hadi shetani, because my mom is like chukua tu simu, chukua usikie wanasema nini. And I'm like mimi mom, mimi si wa generation yenu, nyinyi ndio mnakuanga hivyo, you are peacemakers. Mimi kama nimekucut off ni nimekucut off, whether your family or you're not your family. So wana call me sishiki. And then I used to see their phone na najua hii ni bad news. Like ushai receive bad news from a certain person mpaka unajuanga ukiona simu yake unajua ni imagine I used to see the phone naona sasa hii ni kesi gani tena. Nasikia tu ni kama maji imejaa kwa tumbo. You see, to a point I told myself me watu wataniwa na depression, because I see your phone and I'm like no, hii ni bad news, because nilikuwa nachukua simu ni makesi. Recently my aunt called me wasaidia babangu kuniambia nilipe deni yake yenye babangu alikuwa nayo. So I'm like, hiyo deni hata maybe akikupatia mimi hata sikuwa nimezaliwa, hata sikukuwa hapo. Mbona unataka like I understand, but is it really necessary?
Can I say something of interest to me?
Okay, it's okay, you can say.
I remember even me after my mom died, like someone who had educated my dad started telling me and my siblings, you're going to pay me the fees I paid for your father. So I'm like, my dad died in 2006. We are 2019. So like, you know? Why are you asking me? It's like telling me to my face, like, I paid school fees for your father. You guys have to pay me that school fees. My dad died in 2006. This is 2019. So me, I'm like,
mbona wewe ukumuitisha? And before he died, he was working. Ungemwambia. That is the same thing I was wondering. Okay, ni sawa. My dad might have not bought the properties by himself. Maybe he needed some help. But he worked over the years. Mbona ukumwambia yeye akulipe hiyo deni? Ni kama Ruth unibaie simu uniletee. And then umenibaia na haya purchase umeniletea. Huyo mtu mwenye amekuuzia ni wewe anafaa kuitisha deni, sio mimi, because I'm the one using the phone. So mimi naitishwa deni ya babangu nifanyaje? I was not even there. How do I even know that it is legit?
It's true,
Because out of nowhere, my dad was working. Out of all these years, unataka kuniambia deni ya 2000 haja kulipa in 2023? Whose problem is it? Is it mine? Me bado actually me I feel like, okay, as much as I was in my 20s, I'm supposed to be a grown up, but not in the level that I was now made to grow up. Like unaona, mimi niko kampo, niko vibes too, like you know, campus life. So zile vitu zenye mnaniambia nifanye si vitu zenye watu wa rika yangu wanafanya. They are not dealing with that. My friends are dealing with parties, studies, nini. Mimi mnaanza kuniambia nianze kuenda kuswear sijui affidavits za nini, like things I'm not supposed to be doing. You see? And so it's not been easy, but one thing I thank God, and I would love to tell other parents to do, always communicate with your family. Communication is everything, because if my dad had not communicated with us, we would have been like hizi vitu zote zingekuwa zimepotea. But for him, he used to talk to us. And my dad was this person mwenye, like he was very like hata akinibeba maybe my dad was really supportive. My dad used to wake up 5 p.m. Nikiwa unaona ukiwa kampo unafanyanga job za promo. Nimwambie niko na promo utawala. Do you know atanibeba nifikisha karibu na town na ameamka 5 na job yake anafaa kuingia 8. He wakes up early. As much as we had kulikuwa na fights azikosangi. There's a Kikuyu saying that I don't know if I'll be able to say it. Masebe mereme gekavuke mwematiaga kungorania. Like as long as mnaishi na mtu hamtakosa kufight. Like there must be those fights, moments. But kuna hizo moments, but then kuna good moments pia. So tutaenda tupitie pali fulani, atanionyesha hii barabara inaitwa hivi, you know, that kind of communication huku kunaitwa hivi na hivi. And then anawaambia work hard, anawaambia stories za unajua hata kama nakuanga strict si wasomeshi ndio mnisaidia. Na wako like kama mimi leo tukikula nyama mimi sijui mzazi wangu amekula nini. I'm eating chicken in my house, I don't know what my parents are eating in theirs. It's because like saizi tunaishi na nyinyi, tuko pamoja, nikiwasomesha mtaenda muishi life yenu. Mimi sitakuwa kwa life yenu, so I'm not educating you to come and help me. I'm educating you to build yourselves. And he really really tried, because kuna baba wengi wanaamuanga mimi nitakuwa deadbeat, sitasomesha mtoto. And he could have his own life, because I usually feel like maybe if he wasn't like doing the things he was doing for us, maybe angekuwa mbali, like maybe angeza kujibuild more, because usually alikuwa anasema ati nataka kurudi shule, but then anarudi shule na akona school fees yako, sa anashindwa atalipa yake kwanza ama atalipa yako. So many times he kept saying mi narudi shule, but he never got the chance to do it, because for us we were in school. He was taking care of us. It was not like, sometimes I used to feel like maybe he's not doing so much, like naweza taka afanye, like I feel like he has the potential to do this for me, but anakataa kufanya. But later on you come to understand that he was doing his best. Kwanza ukianza kulipa, ukisha kuwa mkubwa uanze ku-experience life like vile hao wana experience, unaanza ku-understand alikuwa analipia sisi wote school fees. Si mtu mmoja, sisi wote anatulipia school fees, ana provide, anafanya hivi na hivi, bado ana invest, not about school fees peke, ana invest, akona loans, akona nini, all that in one person. Hadi unaangalia salary yake unashindwa, hii salary moja ndio inafanya hizi vitu zote.
Tulikuwa tunaambiana na Ruth juzi ati wazazi wetu walikuwa watoa wapi pesa ya trip, like ulikuwa unatoa wapi pesa ya trip, ya snacks, sijui closing day ninataka nini, sijui ninataka scout uniform, sijui na hiyo tumeka fees kando. Like I want to go for swimming, I want to do scouts, I want to do computer club, I want to do, and all these things he will cater for. Like I was telling Ruth, I remember there's a day I was a scout commander in my primary school, and tulikuwa na like a guard of honor thingy on Friday, and my dress was like so short, so nikaambia my dad, hii dress nimekuwa nayo kutoka sijui class 3, I need a new dress ndio nisikuwe indecent kwa event. Akaniambia sawa, nitakuletea dress. Na nikamwambia daddy, nataka dress peke yake, everything else I want. My dad alikuja na dress, socks za scout, a new beret, scarf, hii kitu ya kushikilia scarf,
like
the whole uniform. And I was like, what? Akaniambia niliona tu I might as well buy everything. And I'm like, bro, na hii time ninajua sasa, growing up, now that I'm a grown up, ninajua hii time he has a household to run. He was building our other house, he was trying to buy a car, my brother was in high school. Niko like, hizi vitu zote ulikuwa unafanya saa ngapi? Anaekea mama yake maji, anajengea mama yake sijui nyumba, and I'm like, this guy was really just doing the best he could. At the days that he was doing something out of character, niko like, enyewe lazima ungekuwa umeshikilia hiyo kitu for so long, that size ndio inaachilia. Like our parents really did the absolute best they could. When you grow up, you have that grace for them.
Yeah, you start to understand.
We want to know, has life been okay after that? How have you been dealing with grief and all of that? Are you doing better now after that?
Okay, so we've come back to Nairobi, and life has to go on. And kuna ile period ya like adjusting. This person was doing everything, he was the provider. Now you have to start thinking, kuna watoto shule watasoma aje? Okay, mi yangu already ilikuwa ni kama inaenda kukua. I think I didn't have a school fee balance. Already I think alikuwa ameshalipa mpaka nimalize. So I didn't have a school fee balance, but there were my 2 sisters wenye wanafaa kusoma. And then life, like, okay, si tunaishi kwetu, so at least we didn't have rent. That was the best part. Now, so tukakuja, my mom does farming, and farming si hiyo ndio ilikuwa inatusimamisha. My dad was like, the salary ya babangu ndio ilikuwa inatusimamisha. So we have to start figuring out life. At the same time, we have to figure out our watu wenye tuko nao as our newfound enemies, how will we tutakabaje hii kitu ndio isiende. So we have to start figuring out from here, where do we go? What like, do we need legal assistance? We have to now go to our lawyer mwenye dada alikuwa ametudirect ndio aanze kutuambia, from this we will do this, from this we will do this. And he has been of so much help. I wouldn't say like tumefika place tunafaa kufika, but what really helped me is that I stopped fighting na mdomo. This period when we are going through all that, shout out to my pastor. He was like, he used to be there, he used to encourage us, ananiambia kila kitu itakuwa poa. And then my mom used to tell us, unajua nini, my mom is Kikuyu definitely, so she used to say, gainewe mudhuri niwe fafa wadiwa hivyo. Sasa my mom, so that used to really encourage me. Hata kitumba ikifanyika najua ai sasa sisi baba yetu ni God. Unaona, baba yetu ni God. Kitumba ikifanyika, wakisema kitumba, like, because there used to be cases kila siku, simu tunataka hivi, papers za hiki tu ziko happy. And then I felt like they saw me as an enemy. Like they were not fighting against my mom, they were not fighting against, yes, they're fighting us as a family, but I felt like waliniona ni kama mimi ndio the biggest enemy because I'm the one standing with my family.
Yeah.
Unaona mimi ndio ninawaambia hapana tutafanya hivyo. Hapana sitawapatia. Hapana wakiniuliza kitu fulani yenye sifai kuambia na waambie ni personal sitawaambia. And then the good thing about all this is that after all this happened we were like sini nimewambia tulikuanga na brother yangu home. And then my sister mimi na mamangu ndo tulienda hosi hiyo siku. So my sister vile before wakuja saa hospital because my two sisters later came to the hospital the same day, but before they came they ensured that vile home wameacha everything is safe because already like I told my uncle not to really tell them, but ache situation ikiwa vile like nyumba yuko wazi. Because unajua mkiwa hospitali other people can be home taking your documents away. So we had really like we had an umbrella. Relatives wasaidia mama walitusaidia on that area because it is so easy to lose yourself when you're grieving. Hadi usahau zile vitu important. You can be a mom and breastfeeding and you're grieving. Hadi usahau kama unajiuliza nilinyonyesha mtoto. Like hukumbuki zile vitu important. And so the fight is not over. It is still there because one thing my dad did, he trusted the wrong people. He trusted cousins or even friends. Like, you come tell me, you know what, niko na shamba ninauza. Because you're my friend, I sell it to you. And those same friends are the one who want to now retrieve the properties. Umeuziwa shamba, umepewa pesa, but now because I am dead, you want to take my property away from my family. We have such 2 cases that are going on right now. So the case is still on. It's not been decided kabisa. But I came to a point nikajiambia unajua vitu za dunia ni vitu za dunia. Me as long as saizi tuko na roof over our head. Plus mi nilijiambianga tusishikilie whatever my dad brought into this world. Pia yes aliwaka hadi akazipata. The same way me na my siblings tunaweza work hard tupate zetu. I'm not saying that we will. At some point I used to tell my uncle that mi nasikia ku give up. Ananiambia, you know what, your father worked so hard for this. Why are you giving up? So I feel like if I give up, I'm letting my father down. Like I may work hard for us and then me, I'm like, chukueni juu sasa nimechoka kufight. So he kept encouraging me. At some point tulikuwa tunaulizana na mamangu, tufanyaje tuachie? Then tunaambiana tusiwaachie. So we keep on fighting. Then sometimes tunachoka akili tunasema tuachie tu tutatafuta zetu zingine. But then my uncle was there telling us unajua hata mimi I'm working hard for my kids and if I die and they don't fight for whatever I've brought into this world for them, like I'll be disappointed. So that is what encouraged us to keep on fighting. And some of them the fight is almost over. Some the fight has not begun because you're a human. I can only do so much. I tell my mom that siwezi shikanisha kila kitu mara moja because ni kama ukijaribu kupita nje na upita nje utapasuka msamba. So I tell my mom, let's do this fight hii ikiisha next it's like now creating a schedule for your day. Nimefanya hii imemalizika, now let's go to the next, because if you try, I'm fighting Ruth, I'm fighting Carol, I'm fighting Maina, I'm fighting everyone. You cannot be able to do that. So right now I can say kuna zile zenye the battle has been won, but there are those that even me as I sit here they scare me. But najuanga naambianga God, whatever will happen, everything that happens, it happened because of the goodness of God. Kama anataka tuipate tutaipata, whether they like it or not.
Speaking of that, how has like the loss and grieving of your dad brought you closer to God? Has it affected like how you see God, how you depend on him now? Because
let me give you like a small testimony. Whenever after that thing happened, like I was so close to God, there's no one I could tell. Tuko tu na mama yangu na zile vitu zenye babangu alikuwa anafaa kufanya hajafanya, ni mimi na Mungu sasa tungangani na mama yangu sasa. So I used to go to God, and most of the prayers that I used to pray were answered. Not exactly kabisa, but God used to fight for me, like ananionyesha, you know what, we have not won the fight, but bring your hand. Ananishika mkono, ananisaidia, like to a point nilikuwa ninaogopa kuomba maombi zingine because I'm like, if I pray na niseme mtu fulani ameni hurt, whatever will happen to them mpaka mimi nitawahurumia. So I know God is mpaka mimi nitawahurumia. So God has really protected us, and from that day this person your breadwinner, and from that day everything, like we may not have like the best life, but my sisters wamesoma, we have a roof over our heads, tunakula,
Yeah.
like school fees is paid, you know, everything is, no, we are not like living the best life, but
Yeah.
God has been a provider.
Yeah.
Les nilitoa provider wenu, junior alikuwa anaenda job peke yake,
Yeah.
but then akasimama hapo. Soon after my dad died, I got a job, and I had been like, nilikuwa home, nilikuwa tunasoma, nikapata job like almost immediately. I think by August I had gotten a job.
Oh, wow.
Nikafanya job, ikanishikilia for so long, ikanishikilia for I think for like 2 years. And then now I quit. Right now I'm not like really working. I started my business. It has not yet peaked, but God showed me, you know what, I will provide.
Yeah.
Because imagine June, and then we took like July yote kumun, because my dad died towards the end of June. July yote kumun. August nilikuanga na job. So zile vitu zenye ninafeel ni kama zingekuwa provided for, zikaanza kukuwa provided for. My sister got a job. You see?
Yes, yeah.
Vitu zikaenda zikichange.
Watu they don't take that verse seriously yenye tumesema na Kikuyu. Amesema hiyo verse ya God is the husband of widows and father of orphans. Ni vile amesema na Kikuyu. People don't take that verse like with the weight it deserves. And there's another verse about like not avoid kutesa widows or something. Like I hear the cry of widows or something like that.
Because the way God revenges,
he will do something and it will be like, watoto hachezangi.
But about also widows and orphans, there's something that I felt like God was revealing to me. Be like, just because I'm a widow, if I had another widow, I'm finished. If I'm an orphan, if I had another orphan, I'm finished. So it's like, people normally think, I agree with you, what you're saying, but like, you had another one, you're done. Nobody's above the program.
But I feel like he really does listen. Akiona, because anajua there's a reason why like kuna hiyo categorization, the way God created things, like God knowing this woman needed her husband, like her husband was her everything, and now the husband is not there. So huyu mama akienda alilie kwa Mungu because of you, my brother, my sister, you will see,
God was our anchor. Ali to hold down. And also family, my shosh, she's now late, but she was like, I want to, ni mko hapa and mnaona sister yenu amekufiwa na bwana yake, tuchukueni tu, wanachukua gari wote wanakuja kwetu. We laugh, we even forget that we are mourning, because mourning doesn't end the day you bury this person.
For sure.
To this day, I'm like, some days I'm like, this man is really dead. And then sometimes I'm like, enyewe amekufa. Sometimes I even dream like ninaotanga, juzi hadi nimeota nikiwa nimemlalia hapa kwa sijui nini ilikuwa imehappen, nimemlalia kwa magoti, and then I'm like, I wake up and I realize, oh, it's a dream, he's not here. So it's like, it's back and forth, like ni kama unaona ni kama ako, ni kama hayuko. I don't know if I mentioned that nilikuwa, when my dad died, nilikuwa nasikia gate naona ni kama ni amekuja. I used to hear the gate nafikiria ni amekuja, because it had not really sunk in.
And what if you could say one thing that you loved or still love about your dad, yenye you can stand out tuseme yenyewe hapa dad alikuwa 150%?
Okay, my dad was a protector. Like, unaonanga kama, siju kama it happens to other siblings. Mimi na siblings wangu tunaweza fight, but don't you dare touch my sibling.
Yeah, exactly.
If you touch my sibling, mi naweza mchapa, but wewe ukimguza, that is a fight against me. So my dad was this person, like, tutakuwa tumefight saa hizi, and then niende huko pahali huko nje mtu anichokoze, nikuje nimwambie daddy mtu amenifanyia hivi na hivi. My dad was a funny person. Like, not, unaona kuna wale watu wenye unaonanga wanakuanga always funny, but kuna zile jokes zenye my dad will say a joke ama do something and it will stick forever. Like, let me say something my dad once did, and I'm like, it was about police, lakini sasa hizi mtamtoa wapi? So there's this time my dad na my mom wako kwa traffic. Wanatoka job town. My mom had a boutique in town, and so my dad every day akitoka job atachill, then aenda achukue mama yangu amrudishe saa home. So now on motorbike, then so because of baridi mama yangu atavaa nini kitambaa, and so wakapata kwa traffic offense. I think maybe ni juu, I don't know what was the traffic offense. And then now my dad tells my mom, so hii ni story wanatupatia wakishafika home. My dad tells my mom, jifanye wewe ni mgonjwa. And then hapa kando yao kuna City Hopper. I think hao watu wako kwa City Hopper wameelewa what's not happening because wameona hawa kuna kitu wameambiana. Babangu ameambia mamangu jifanye wewe ni mgonjwa unakaa unaenda kukufa. And then that is what my mom does. And then polisi anakuja anaanza kuuliza and then polisi my dad pretends ni bibi yangu na ako mgonjwa sana, yani he becomes dramatically, yani anakaa ni kama yenyewe amebeba mtu anaenda kukufa. So mtu wa traffic anawaambia, huyo polisi wa traffic anawaambia, na unafanya nini hapa, enda. And then my dad looks at the City Hopper people and then wanabaki wakiisha cause wana understand what has just happened. Like I've seen it, like nimeona hao watu wameplani kitu tukiona hapa. And then there's this one other time, na sijui kwa nini zote ni za traffic offense. There was this one time, sijui tulikuwa tunaendanga wapi as a family, tulikuwa inakaa. This time my sibling was kadogo. Hata yeye ni comedian too, I don't know how it happened cause tulikuwa kwa gari na tuko wengi, like hatufai kukua hivyo vile tulikuwa. And then sasa sijui nani alikuwa ameshika sister yangu mdogo. And then tulikuwa hiyo njia ya Lang'ata. So sijui kama kuna St Mary's karibu hapo pahali. And then tumeshikwa before kitu kama there was a hospital, sikumbuki ni wapi hapo, but kuna hospital hapo, sijui kama ni St Mary's. And then polisi akakuja akaanza kuongelesha babangu. And then my dad looks at my mom. Mamangu tu kuangalia hivi, I don't know, like mkishaishi na mtu you understand them so much. Even eye contact will tell you do this, like haja kuambia kitu. And then my sister ameshikwa hapa, mamangu amemshika in a way like she's like mtoto tusipompeleka hosi saizi she's leaving us. And then we are told like endeni tu. Yani he was funny in some way. I can't remember all the jokes, but he was not like ule mtu wa kusema jokes kila siku, but those jokes can really stick
with you for years.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you've told us about him. He sounds like a lovely man.
We miss him too.
And yeah, I miss him. And sometimes I feel like everything that I do, I just want to make him proud. Like, you worked hard. Let us not squander everything that you worked hard for. Like, we can be those kids who squander everything that parents wamemwachia. But I feel like, kama uliacha hapa, I want to build your empire. Like, it can be a family business, it can be like a family thing. Maybe ulifikisha hapa, wacha pia mimi ningangane nifike hapa pengine. Not so that is what encourages me to do better.
Wow, that was quite a story.
It was so lovely, and I've been encouraged throughout the entire story. Yeah, your story is lovely, and God is with you. One thing, as you said, that thing about him being the father of orphans and widows, he's there, he's present, and he's going to provide for you, and he's going to make you great.
And one thing that also happened after this, like already you've lost one person, so what usually happens is when you mmebaki mnakuanga very close. I remember me and my sister, we used to fight a lot. Right now we don't even fight. Like hata kama ni fight ni minimal fight. Right now we usually talk about things about tutafanyia madhe hivi, tutafanya hivi, this is what we will do for our family. Like it has brought us closer. Like we don't like hatu fight hivyo. Like kama kuna issue we put it on the table. Mtu mmoja akiwa na shida tunajiuliza tutamsaidia aje. Like we just want to be together. And one thing I usually tell God, kuna time my mom sijui kama ni juu ya hiyo like kuachwa peke yake ama sijui ni nini ilikuwa imefanyika. There was a time my mom was not feeling okay, and I told God wewe don't tempt me again. Don't do it again, because if you do it again mimi nitakuwa nimeisha. I was like, I've gone through this, please don't allow it to happen again. I don't want, like I wouldn't be so strong vile unafikiria nitakuwa strong saizi I'm strong because my mom is there. She gives me strength, and everything I do because I feel like she's the only parent I have. I want to like nifanye everything so that she can be here. I know she won't be here forever, but God anipatie tu more time with her.
And she's doing okay right now. So.
Yeah, she's doing okay. She's literally like my best friend. We roast each other, yes.
Yeah, you were telling us
we fight.
Tumepata stories zote za mama Esther.
But she's literally the best mom in the world. Nimwambia wewe unasemanga wewe unaweza forgive shetani. I usually tell her me siwezi kuwa na roho kama yako. I thank God somehow niko na roho ngumu kama babangu, because my mom is so soft. Umesikia nakataa kuchukua simu, ako like chukua tu simu, usiuchukue. And then she usually tells me, unajua hao ni damu yenu. So like I'm like, hao watu wamekukosea, why you still supporting them? Ako like, I'm trying to just bring peace. But I'm like, sometimes peace si kila kitu, especially for us young people. Sisi si wale wa ati it's because ni family. Saizi si ati because it's family. We can build our own family from scratch.
No, two people marry each other. Roho ngumu na roho soft. They end up together.
Utapata mtu
Utapata
But
mtu roho soft
all these gave me some sort of trauma because one thing I'm scared of, like I've dated people from different tribes, but it gives me like some sort of trauma because I feel like maybe they never really accepted this my mom because maybe of the tribe.
for sure.
It really scares me, like to a point nikiweza kuja kwenu ni notice like maybe I'm dating you and then I notice like you don't really like me because of my tribe. Hapo na hapo I'm not willing to fight because I know how it will end. I feel like I know how this ends. I know how, like I just know how it will end, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
And one thing I'd like to tell maybe like parents out there, don't always treat your children like kids. You can confide in them because through confiding in us, our dad saved us from what would have been chaos. Like, yes, it was chaos, but he saved us from a lot. Because if he didn't tell us, you know what, mtafanya hivi, we wouldn't have had a direction. Because to a point, hadi wa saa hizi tunaulizananga, mamangu anatuulizanga, baba yenu angetaka tufanye nini? Because he communicated. If he didn't communicate, if he saw us as kids, we wouldn't know where we are heading. But at least even from the grave, we know. I know my dad wanted to do this. We have a construction that my dad had started in haijaisha bado, but I know he wanted us to do this. So we are doing it according to his standards because he communicated. What if he was the kind of person, okay, somehow he had a bit of dictatorship, but at least he used to communicate, nataka mambo zifanye hivi, and through that imetusaidia tukajua si alikuwa nataka hivi, tutafanya hivyo. And he was also a very strict person, which I thank God because of that. He was very strict. At that point I was like, mtu ni strict sana, but right now I thank God because it has saved me from a lot. Being strict like that has saved me from a lot.
Sure. Hey, I don't even know how to end this episode because
I know, you may enjoy.
But thank you so much for coming on, Esther. Thank you so much for even the tips that umepea parents. Thank you so much for everything that we have learned from your story, for having the courage to share Ata. That's a whole other thing. And we just pray for you and your family, and that God will continue being with you guys, that Mama Essie will continue thriving like the girl she is, and your siblings will thrive, and your dad is already proud of you. You know that for sure. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.